What is up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C. And in this particular video, I'll be reviewing, recapping in my commentary of Sistas, Season 1, Episode 3. And shout out to my YouTube fam. If you're not part of my YouTube fam, you like to see what you see, like what you see and like what you hear, y'all. Go ahead and subscribe button over here and hit all notifications so you know about this. I'm also reviewing the Oval. If you want to check that out, if you want to catch up with Greenleaf, and if you haven't watched the underrated, slept on David Makes Man series, I'll do that. And also, I'm also reviewing and recapping Real Housewives of Love Season 12 and other reviews that will come up in advance that, you you gotta watch to see. So to catch up, love it, to like up, and before the 90 Days Season 7 as well. So anyways, and besides my video series, 65 days a year. Okay, I wasted some time. I'm ready. But anyway, y'all, I'm not gonna lie. This episode, there was parts that made me realize, you know what? I'm still gonna hang in with this short story. Last week's episode, where y'all kind of had ticked me off with certain things. I think I get adjusted to the over exaggeration of Danny's personality, even though I'm kind of looking sideways. Like, let's just say I'm gonna tell y'all in advance. I know it's like a little spoiler alert, but I'm like, is Danny wants Zach and she doesn't want to admit it, or are they going to end up hooking up or whatever, or what is going on with those two, okay? Or what's going to be about, because they're going to end up being roommates based on the previews for the next week's episode. Okay, yeah, I said that, okay? So, anyway, y'all, we pick up where we left off. Danny got a call script. Now, it's four people in a group of girlfriends, best friends. So maybe we'll get more background about how they all meet each other. They know each other since childhood, college years, or early 20s, mid 20s, whatever. Okay. Somebody dates somebody's brother. I don't know. Okay. Because we don't know, like, the background story of the characters yet. Okay. But Danny and Sabrina, they have their own, like, there's certain stuff they tell between those two. And then we already have seen the Karen and Annie, they have secrets and stuff together as well that they didn't want to tell, whatever, or a secret pact, So even though they're all best friends, it is still two groups, still two groups inside. Okay. So Danny's about to go over there because we see Gary's behind with his wife Jasmine. And you know how Danny is. Danny, 9 times out of 10, most time the scenes we got, she seemed to take millions of breaks, about to get into it or whatever with somebody, whatever. I don't know how long she been in their job, but I'm like, I know people who used to work at the airport. They didn't do all that. I mean, they didn't have those type of privileges, but I digress. But anyway, so she's about to, of course, confront, and she's calling Sabrina. And Sabrina is like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Danny, she's about to, just like a jaguar about to prey, or a cougar, or whatever, a tiger about to growl. That's what she's about to do. So then they call, Sabrina, like, calls Karen, and they doing, like, I think a 3-way or something like that. And then Karen's like, no, don't do it, because, Jamie's like, I don't care. You know how she is. I'm about to care, blah, 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 whatever, right? And I forgot, this is actually after the scene, because they picked up Aaron Carter. They finished having the ice cream. And Karen is starting to she is giving out a little of the angry black woman. And this is why I say why. Because her thing is all man ain't it. Okay? That's what she's giving us based on her own words. Because when Aaron gets out the car and basically starts, she was like, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 37, right? I'll get back to the first part, because like I said, it was kind of going into each other. Like when Danny, like I said, spot, Gary at the airport with his wife about to confront. And, like I said, Karen was still eating ice cream in the grocery store parking lot and finished, like I said, and they share ice creams, whatever, with Aaron. But she started to ask him, like, okay, what age? And he says 37. And so she's like, okay, what's good for me to ask this then? Why are men age-ish? And he's like, excuse me, because she's just like, and he's like, of course, like, shocked, and he's like, what? But he says this, he was like, you know what? Women have to take responsibility who choose these men who ain't ish. You know what I mean? Like, you can't take part in it. Of course, she feels some type of way, whatever, because she like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But she says all men, whatever. And then she had the nerves to say to Aaron that, well, what about the responsibility of your wife is up there screwing up there, just letting other dudes in the cooch, basically. And he got mad and was finally, she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Can you come? And he was like, you know what? I'm good. Because she was like, are you sure you don't want my number? So he was like, she was just like, I know we're going through stuff. He's like, yeah, I understand, but have a nice day. Have a nice night, whatever. And she was like, are you sure you don't want my number? No. But I guess he must have left in the car a rose he must have bought from the store, and it looked like a card to maybe the card. I think it was from him saying, I'm sorry. So Karen's like, I still got it. So I don't know if it had his number on it or just him apologizing. But like I said, there's a possibility. And I think basically she might get back with it. And like I said, how she's going to tomorrow in our ish. And as I'm saying, clearly this man is married. Whether he was cheated on, found out he was cheated on, whatever. Which, yeah, I think it is in the previews that she's going to be back with, talking to Aaron Carter. So we see how that goes, okay? So, anyways, y'all, like I said, after that, Karen is leaving, from the grocery store, obviously. And like I said, Danny's about to do, I'm about to be, and Sabrina's like, no, would you stop doing that? So, Karen ends up calling Annie. And Andy is still, driving around from wherever. Maybe she's about to go home to her place. And so Karen was telling her what's going on, whatever. Like Danny spotted, Gary up there, blah blah. And it's like, say, do what you gotta do with him. So I don't know, because it was a couple times like I was kind of confused about the dialogue or certain things. And this was one of those times because I don't know if all was like a three-way, which is a three-way, and she clicked over and Andy just said, and just flat out when Danny's about to go over there, I'm at blah blah blah. Either I don't know if Karen or Andy, because that's what I'm saying, they were going back and forth. But then I didn't know flat out was it Karen or Andy. But somehow they just let Danny and Sabrina, whoever was between those two women, and Danny or Sabrina know the message that Gary is married. And Danny's like, married? So she's about to get off her ship off. And she was like, okay, 30 minutes, bitches. Y'all come to my house and bring some drink. When they wait, and before Karen and Andy get there, right? I noticed Sabrina didn't. Nobody had no drinks. Nothing. It wasn't no Kool-Aid or nothing. But here is Danny. She's one of those people that sometimes talk about other folks, but always have to shut the hell up because she would talk. Turns out that she was messing with a married man, and she was like, "Well, I didn't know he was married," but she messed with this man for a whole entire year, and also he was a 70-year-old, but also looked good as hell. Just Danny's a hot ass mess or damn something. But she's like, okay, but that's not besides the point. You know how Danny is. I don't know how Andy could do something like this. But like I said, Danny's supposed to be the major comic relief of the series. That's all I have to say. So, anyways, Karen is the only one who brings one bottle of wine. Not two, not nothing, whatever. She brings one bottle of wine. And Karen, Andy comes back to, so they want to talk about what is going on. And then Andy and Karen quickly remind Danny, like, well, weren't you messing with married man? And that's what he realizes Sabrina and Karen, or Danny, she promised Danny she was going to say anything. Sabrina said, I'm sorry, I just notified him. So they had their pact, and they let Danny let me know. So, Karen's like, let's just talk with some, talk with some weed or whatever, and talk about some joint. And then when I looked at the damn joint, whatever, was it like an e-cigarette? Because that wasn't a joint. That wasn't a swisher. That wasn't a single. That wasn't a blunt. That wasn't a bong. Was that a bong instrument? What was that? It looked like a piece of tube that goes to the vacuum. Okay, I don't want to be ignorant, but I'm just saying. I mean, if y'all know me for first, because I'm not a weed smoker like that. I do want to get my weed license so I can get medical marijuana, for my conditions, HS and stuff. But I'm like, even I had joints before. I haven't had blunts. I don't want to roll no stuff like that, and like little mini bombs. I had one time. I just never seen what the black tube, or was it supposed to be a fake blunt? What was that they were smoking on, y'all? Please tell me. I'm not saying that's not real. I'm just somebody who's an expert of weed. I mean, around people who are weed heads, or really experienced within the weed department with Mary Jane, and I had married to it and everything, but I don't recall that. Okay, I don't recall seeing that with people I know who are real weed smokers. Okay, I don't see that. Okay, I know I just rambled it, but I just was a little concerned about what the hell are they smoking. Like I said, it looks like a damn part of the vacuum. Okay, let's go. So when they're talking, they're talking with they blonde, whatever. Of course, they talk about. Andy said it like as if Gary's not gonna be married for long, or whatever, and she's seen the paper and the course book, whatever. But they do talk about and remind Andy, like, okay, he just foolish, and basically let him go. I'm not gonna go through everything, whatever. And because before even Sabrina got actually the call from Danny, she hung up and declined the call. No, she declined the call from Calvin trying to call her. You know, because it's still, even after the so-called explanation, there was never an explanation about that. I still question about why did he do that, even if he knew this person. That was inappropriate. Whether it had nothing to do with the person, gender of the person, or whatever, if they're non-binary, whatever, kissing them on the lips like that. I still gotta look at that sideways. Like, what the hell was that? And he seemed bitter, like with somebody probably. Okay, we'll get into that like later on, probably like 15 minutes from now, whatever. I'm just keeping it real. So they basically had a talk, but Andy's like, you know what? Okay, it is what I'm not sprung on it. It's okay, y'all. Blah blah blah. Like I said, the dialogue, they're talking like as if they're high, trying to talk. So that's the reason why I'm not gonna go through everything, because I was just like, okay, let's wait for the scene. And I was also, like I said, question mark by asking, like, is that supposed to be blunt or e-paper, whatever, because they asked for Danny's because Danny owes everybody money, whatever, but it is what it is. But she wants her wheat back. So like I said, they have that, and Andy and Karen end up talking. They went to the two, like, the best friend, the BFFs between the two dudes. So Andy, I think it was Karen, Andy driving Karen or Andrew, whatever. Okay, they drove back home to their places, and they basically like, why do we get these men who ain't ish, or why do we get this? We're independent, we're cute, we sexy, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff, whatever. And I forgot to mention that Danny also tried to tell Karen when they were having a little pass around or whatever, and trying to get to the bottom of this, that because Danny was like, oh, I had ran to Zach, whatever. She was like, you know what, I don't want to hear about him, blah blah blah, because I don't think that if it was brought up, it sure wasn't like the main thing conversation. I don't think Karen brought up about meeting Aaron in the at the store or whatever. But like I said, they basically were talking about their circumstances, about with men and having about this bad man and men, and again, the second time Karen was saying, Andy was like, I'm frustrated with everything's going on. She's questioning, does the wife know about her and just playing some games? And the conspiracy theory. I meant to be careful, I just say certain words you're supposed to say here, but it's conspiracy. They're thinking like, does the wife know? And Karen was like, I bet if she knew, then she would have been said something, because they were all saying like, find out he going to triple, basically like, again, analyzing their non-relationship, or used to be non-relationships, okay, and analyzing that, whatever. Like, okay, we gonna be okay. One of them type of speeches again. We're probably gonna hear this whole series, and if they're blessed enough, another season, the same thing. So they're talking about that, and at the same time, Sabrina, before she leaves, Calvin calls her again, and Danny's like, so you avoided him still? And she like, yeah, and she's about to go and try to like go on Instagram, give me his first and last name, and I'll try to see, can I find his handle to try to see what is on his page, because she still, of course, feels some type of way and never had told him about it, like she felt inappropriate, nothing like that. It's not also ask him. Also, I forgot to mention last week, of course, I'm going to remember it in the next episode, that about, she asked Maurice, can she try, he kind of find information about him, and Maurice was like, first ask him, even though one minute he seemed like he's jealous, or they're like this mean thing towards her, the competition with trying to get down with Calvin, and then one minute, next minute it's like, we all not, just because we're possibly all gay, if he part of the rainbow community don't mean I know him and stuff like that, or whatever. But also you should ask him to see, if is he, is he straight, or is he part, if he's an ally, or is he part of the rainbow community, so but going fast forward now she ended up actually declined the call again, and then accidentally she ends up picking up and put him on speaker. And he's like, hello. And he's like, hi, how you doing? Whatever. She's like, well, my friends. Now, she wasn't lying that she did meet up with her friends that time. Because I guess, I don't know how many days, maybe it's been a couple of days, that ever since that awkward moment, and kind of, the person to me was this, like I said, in the matter whether it was a male or female or whatever, as far as like a non-binary person or whatever, the point is that I would feel uncomfortable about him just kissing whoever on the lips anyway during there, especially it wasn't around. And even then, like, I ain't gonna lie, I still be like, okay, you kissing your mama on the or your dad, but you know what I mean. It's just I would feel uncomfortable and kind of still be sideways, but it, okay. But so because I know those people, we run to people personally, y'all. We ran to people that if y'all somebody at the most, y'all hug them if y'all run into somebody most of the time. Unless you're auntie, you might kiss them on the cheek at the most, but most cases I've seen, if either you do a handshake or you hug somebody. That's it. That's all I've seen in my lifetime. Okay, or I've done and seen in my lifetime. Okay, so even in our families, y'all. So, but other than that, he's trying to go another day with her. She's like, we're going to be busy on the first. And turns out it's the ninth, whatever month it is. And he was like, you know what? If you don't want to be bothered with me or whatever's going on, and Danny's got a little sign, a little whiteboard, like, just ask her what's going on. And she's like, I'm not avoiding you, stuff like that. And Kevin's like, you know what? When you're ready to call me, whatever, I'm sick and tired, we're grown as heck, whatever, call me when you feel like whatever, you know what? I'm done, bye-bye. And hangs up on her, okay? So even though she's questionable, felt uncomfortable, instead of letting him know that and seeing what's going on, basically he hung up. So she ends up leaving whatever. But I think Danny did. Like the thing is, she does have feelings for him, even though that situation made him uncomfortable. And so she, I think, ends up leaving Danny's place. The last one leaves Danny's place. So we got the next day, whatever, y'all. And like we said, here's Danny Sabrina's job, and she already feels tense because she actually is upset. And when Calvin comes this time, he purposely avoids Sabrina's line and decides to go to Maurice. And already Sabrina's acting like, before he even came and they showed him whatever, she was like, there's some paperwork that Maurice is supposed to do that usually Sabrina does for him. She's like, you got to catch up with it. And then first I thought she heard what was going on. But Calvin, here go Maurice. What is your ID? And he's like, as many times I come here, I'm just going to be coming to you now, whatever. Because Maurice was like, well, usually come to my coworker. He was like, well, I'm not doing that anymore, blah, blah. And he was like, well, Calvin is your name? Well, he's like, my name's Maurice and stuff. And here, what threw it off, he was like this, you know what, Maurice, let me get your number. And Maurice was like this, all like this, whatever, right? And he was like, you want to go, blah, 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 get some coffee, whatever. So, of course, that's even like, dang, like he, because we did see in the previews that he was going to be talking to Maurice at the table. And I first thought, honestly, because, like, Sabrina wanted to scope him out. There was some weird, like, thing that he ends up talking, Maurice, his son wants to talk to him, but, like, more so, like, to see, tell Sabrina, like, is it worth talking to or not or whatever. But it turns out, because, after he left, Sabrina was like, oh, I'm okay, because she was getting upset and talking about, the numbers weren't right. He was like, I did write them correctly. And he was like, she was like, I'm sorry. She apologized. And he was like, you know what? I'm not your enemy now. Because she was like, you're not my enemy. You're cool, whatever. But he was like, but you know what? I am going to be your enemy soon. And she was like, what? You know what? Cal I asked for my phone number and asked for a coffee date. And she, you could tell that she's getting upset. But she leaving it alone. And, like, oh, that's fine, it's fine. He was like, are you sure? Are you sure? And he kept asking her, are you sure? And she was like, no, I'm fine, I'm good. So she went for a little break or whatever. And, of course, she decided to call her Danny. And, of course, Annie had to put on mute because she started laughing when she said, Calvin, obviously, you ain't got to do that search on Instagram or find his social media hooks. Even though, remember Calvin said he follows her on social media, so is he under like a fake ass account or something or whatever? Because he was able to find her. Remember he said that in the first episode. So what's going on here? They doing all this extra possible detective work got to do, but like I said, okay, whatever. But so Danny of course is avoiding not trying to avoid like laughing, and Sabrina's like, you know what, I'm cool, good girl. I'm gonna get off the phone with you because you doing too much, okay. So also it's another scene I want to bring up in, and this is what made me think, like, does she like Zach? Now Zach, because she's a little bit protective. Now Karen said she didn't want nothing to do with him, but it is interesting how she's so protective over him as well. Now he's doing the cart and he's got these bad. I'm just gonna say it like it is. There's these ballad girls, these little witch girls, whatever. Y'all remember Sweet Valley High Twins books? Okay, I'm giving hints about my age, but you know what I mean. Sweet Valley High books, no type of girl, coolest, the classic coolest, as if type of thing. But they're kind of like this, like they all looking at Zach like a delicious, exotic chocolate treat. And they talking about, are you sure you don't want to go as a trip? Because they've been doing the confirmation with Danny. Are you sure? I mean, we're going to be in a dad shot, and it's going to be all us, just all three of all of this. And the keys. Are you sure you don't want to go? This is Zach's like, I mean, my and Danny feels some type of way. So Danny was like this. She was on the keyboard. Hopefully I don't press no button remote. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but I'm just on the keyboard. Do. Okay? And she was like, you know what? The flight has been canceled. Or no, not flight canceled, like it didn't get called in or something. Because she feels some type of way, because these girls, I remember, they kept asking Zach over and over again. And Zach was already like, I'll think about, no, I don't know for sure. And she's like, come on. They're like, come on. That's how they're sounding. But anyway, yeah, we wouldn't know what that was. Just been all big ass orgy and stuff. Just nastiness. But anyway, they wanted to play and party, basically. And this is what Danny did when she was up there. Like I said, she said that there was confirmation. She said, oh, there is another flight. But it's nothing but Coach. And they're like, we don't do Coach. We don't even wear Coach products. Like, seriously? We're just going to use my dad's private plane. This is ridiculous. And like I said, they just, Zach was like, he just, like the girls went back to the cart and Zach talked to him for a second. Talked to Danny for a second. He was like, I know, why did you cancel those girls? Now he knew that she obviously canceled those girls' confirmation, whatever, right? And she was like, didn't you see Get Out? And stuff like that. You would have left them, whatever. He was like, you would have been blacklisted. He was like, blacklisted? And then that's where she said, you wouldn't have been able to do anything black. And she does this. And I was kind of like, wait a minute here. Like I said, I forgot because I wasn't paying attention somewhat last week when she had her keys in there. Like, if he would have got the keys out of there, she would have jumped on him like a bunny. And I forgot that she said that in the middle of everybody. Like, she would have been hitting. That's what I'm thinking. Like, wait a minute now. I already put your keys in the area in your bosom as is. But here she kind of was a meant to sack. Like, she would bang them, right, smash them right there in front of everybody. Or try to attempt to. And these exposure and everything. Just to... right in front of everybody. And that's what I'm saying is obviously, at least when I'm starting to gather this based on what we're seeing, that she obviously has feelings for Zach. Or starting to get sympathetic. Because she even asked Zach, like, who's you staying with? And Zach was like, it does not matter. Or is it with that bitch? And he's like, no, it does not matter, okay? But she still was like, okay, whatever, whatever. But, you be careful, don't be accepting no tea, no green tea, no black tea, no nothing from, do not get out, do not. So he ends up driving, Becky, because there was one named Becky, and drives them off. Okay, Becky and her crew, off. So another scene is that Abby ends up, okay, obviously Gary has a key, and he came up in there surprisingly before 4 a.m. in the morning, and Abby starts, it's, like during the daytime. And Abby's like, well, I don't know, she said, like, what are you doing here? And who were you with when you went to Average or something like that? The trip he said he was going to out of town. And he was like, well, it was something to do with my mother-in-law and stuff like that. Come with that excuse. So basically, she's basically letting them know, like, but she didn't say that Jasmine is coming in possibly for divorce. I know she left that completely out. And she's just like, I am tired of this. I am sick of this. And, like, basically, like, either gonna be with her or me, type of feeling. He was like, why are you acting this way? Did something change? Are you with somebody else? But he was also saying this. I know you're a good woman, even though it was married, whatever. But he was also coming with excuses. Well, if I leave, the real reality is one of my sons, one of his kids, has autism, and he wouldn't be able to. It was like 1 minute he was making an excuse, like he wouldn't be able to leave or had the child to get used to certain stuff. And he was like, so do you want me to come here and start bringing my stuff or come here and moving or something like that? And she was like, yeah, are you going to do this or not? Like, are you serious or not? Stop playing games. I'm tired of this mess, basically. She's crying everything. And he had the nerve to propose to her and was like, basically get on one down knee with the ring and everything. And she like, you know what? Get out. I'm tired of this. You gotta go. And he was like I said, he had no audacity to ask her, did she have somebody else? Why did it matter? You got a whole wife with a family. That's a whole marriage relationship. You know what I'm saying? Just and she told him to leave, go. I'm just tired, that type of thing. So he ends up leaving, right? Now, another scene was that here we got um now Calvin is already at the coffee shop. And oh sorry y'all, I'm a little bit lagging a little bit. But he's at the coffee shop and he already got Ashley a coffee. He asked like, which coffee do you prefer? And of course, Mo was feeling flirtatious because that's exactly what he said. He thinking like he on a date. So he's like this, I like black coffee with some cream. And he's like, oh, okay, here you go, whatever. And he was like, I wanted to ask you, can you help me with, because I really like your girl, your co-worker, Sabrina. And I was want to get help. And of course, Maurice was like, what? I thought you invited me on a date. What type of stuff is this? And he was like, well, I'm not the stereotypical straight guy. She was like, I never seen somebody like you before. And he's, whatever. And interesting enough, but still, there was no explanation about what he did last week, which was still over the board to me. Yeah, I said this like third time in this video. But he explains that he actually has two dads. And they put him in football and everything else, whatever. He used to get teased, but it's like, that's why he's like, he is cool with all people, whatever. And, because Maurice was surprised, like, you came up, with two dads, whatever. I don't know why it reminded me, I wonder if they ever would show his two dads. Like, remember that movie, but the remake with Robin Williams? And I forgot that other popular actor, Birdcage. I don't know why they gave me that type of thing, or would they go like into his background a little bit more, But Maurice was just kind of intrigued, by it, even though he was mad. Like, really, you want me to help you with Sabrina? I really thought it was a chance for me and you. And he was like, I apologize, whatever, but I want to be with Sabrina. He's still saying he's a straight man, so Maurice is like, oh, okay, but he was, like I said, intrigued to find, like, I think more about his background. And because he still was like two dads? But okay. So anyways, we ended up seeing, well, like I said, so after that scene, Maurice ends up telling his co-worker that it turns out, you know what? He's actually interested in you. Just to let you know, that's the other day. It wasn't no date. It was just him wanting to ask about how he can help me with you. I think he ended up able to tell Sabrina that, whatever. So Maurice all back to, like, really? So, anyways, the last scene that I'm going to talk about, because I think I covered about almost everything. It's all because they didn't go to his, his boss was like, so did you think about what I said or whatever? And he was like, so did you think about what I said or whatever, right? And she was like, yes, about the thing. And he was like, did you see your client out there, Jasmine out there? And she was like, no. And he was like, yeah. So after you talk to her, you talk to me. We don't see that in this episode, whatever. So anyways, Jasmine comes in there. She was like embarrassing. And it turns out she's decided that she's not going to let a home wrecker, which is basically you have to be the spawn of Satan, to want to mess with a married man. Because she asked, like, is there a mixture? Because she decided to change her mind. She was like, my husband loves me. He cried to me because he was crying some tears. We needed to get the Kleenex for him. I need to make a new good Kleenex song. But anyway, we need to get the Kleenex for him. Now, he was showing real tears. He was showing the tears Barry's supposed to have. Okay, I know this told you for the show, y'all. But I'm saying, with the Ovo, the show that came out right before that, Gary was giving some tears. And he was giving some tears. These were tears Barry was at least supposed to show. Okay, anyways. So she said he was crying on her. He wants to make it work. He loves her because he said his shoulder that morning. So, and of course, Andy's still keeping it all together. And But like I said, she's like she's not going to get a divorce, and she was like, guess what? He gave me this ring, and guess what, y'all? It's the same ring he and her audacity gave her this indecent proposal, literally, because like she said, Negro, you still married. How can you propose somebody else when you got a whole wife? And that he took that ring, decided to recycle it, and gave it to his wife. And that's how the episode ends into previews to the next episode. So y'all, again, I ain't gonna lie, even just that one scene right there, because also she says that she doesn't believe um she doesn't believe what was I gonna say? She doesn't believe there's even any witnesses. I mean, not mistresses. I meant to say witnesses based on the information that nobody exists. So um I guess Andy's in the clear of what she's gonna do from now on. Like that's the chance you take when you mess with somebody else's uh spouse, man, woman, whatever. It's when that's the outcome. But yeah, I had my mouth open. I didn't expect that. Like, okay, they got me wrapped up that show a little bit. I'm gonna give it a chance. Okay, but anyway, y'all, hugs and loves. See y'all next episode. God bless, take care, and good night. And see y'all next week for episode 4. Take care.